Ivan Toney has been suspended from playing football for 8 months. But what does this mean for Ivan Toney, for Brentford and for football as a whole? In this video, we're going to delve into what this massive suspension means for football. Before we do get into the video, please make sure to like the video, comment down below and also subscribe to the channel. Go and follow the Instagram and the TikTok, Danny Talks Football on both. Right, Ivan Toney has been suspended for 8 months from all football related actions and has been given a £50,000 fine. Now, what does this mean for Ivan Toney, first of all? Obviously, he will not be able to play football for 8 months. And that is big for a player of that standard. Look, people are saying, he's going to get well rested and then he'll be able to come back an even better player. That's possible. However, he's not going to be match fit. He's not going to be at that same tempo. And not playing football for 8 months is a massive stretch of time. Is he going to come back the same player? Personally, I'm really not sure if he does. I wonder if he's no longer the same player anymore, and if so, then that is deserved. We don't know what kind of bets he was putting on, but if he's betting on his own games, he could have bet on himself to get a yellow card in the game, and then he could have mouthed off to the ref on purpose, got that yellow card, and then been like, great, there's money in my bank account. You can't do that. So this suspension is fully deserved. It's not good for Toney, and it's not good for Brentford either. Toney scored 20 goals for this Brentford side this season in 33 games. And they're now going to be without him for the next 8 months. He'll come back just before January, I want to say. We're in January, February, March, April, May. We're in the 5th month of the year, so yeah, he'll come back next January, about mid-January. They're without him for half a season there. That'll have a massive impact on this Brentford side. They're going to have to go out and sign a big striker this summer, of course, because they're going to need a striker. Ivan Toney won't be able to play for that football club up until January. And that's not going to be good for Brentford. This was a player that they were looking to possibly sell on, get a lot of money for. You could have got 50-60 million for Toney this summer. Now, instead of getting that money, they're going to have to go out and invest more into a new player, rather than just getting the money for the old one and then investing that into the new player, or even keeping Toney. They're not going to have the money to invest into the rest of the squad as they possibly would. And I do now worry for Brentford next season. When my Premier League predictions come out for next season, which we won't be involved in, I think I'm going to end up putting Brentford quite low, depending on what their transfer business is. Just because without Toney, I think they'll struggle. But the biggest thing is, what does this mean for football? First of all, it means that going forward, we're going to have to be really strict on the rules. You look at Man City breaking FFP. You've got to be strict on that now. You've been strict on Toney, and I think that's fair. But you've got to be strict on every other incident now. If somebody breaks the rules, you have to be harsh. You can't be handing out a £10,000 fine. And we're not saying, there's a pitch invasion, go really hard on that. No, look, part of the game. I'm talking about the big, FFP, those kind of things. If you're going to break big rules, like Toney's done here, like Man City did with the FFP, you've got to punish hard. You've got to meet things with bans, with transfer bans, whatever it is, whatever you've done, you've got to be harsh on it. It also means, though, that there's no tolerance in betting or betting for football players. If any player comes out and does this in the future, it's done. You look at what happened with Trippier with his move to Atletico Madrid. He got done quite harshly for that, and now it's just saying to his mates, lads, put a couple of quid on me going to Atleti. It looks like it's going to happen. Toney's probably done worse than that. Obviously, as I say, we don't know what these bets were, but Toney's probably done worse than that. But that does now look like football now has a no tolerance in betting, which, as I say, I think is a really good thing. However, and the final point of this video I'm going to make is, if you're going to have a no tolerance in betting, you have to take the betting sponsorships off shirts. You can't do that. You can't say there's no tolerance in betting and punish somebody for betting, but then still have betting sponsors on shirts. You can't do that. Betting sponsors have to be eliminated from the game if we're going to be so harsh on betting. But yeah, what do you think of this ban? It's obviously bad news for Brentford and even worse news for Ivan Toney, but I think it's good news for all of football. What do you think to this decision? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. See ya!